live streaming going forward now. From now on, every race, we will continue to upload the streams to the podcast places. So please tell your friends about us. Get your family involved. Formula One is the fastest growing sport in the world. There's about 100 million people just got through watching the Austrian Grand Prix. So have all your friends and family become part of it. Welcome, Formula One fans. This is the Formula One News Hour. I'm your host, Jonathan Steele. This week we are in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I've spent many weeks, I guess, over the years, probably months down in Brazil, between Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro and some of the other places in the south of Brazil. And of course in the northeast, where all the petrochemical plants and refineries and things like that are. And a very nice place to be and go. And if you get a chance, please put that on your bucket list. I guarantee you will have a very good time. So this week, this track is 2.6 miles long. We're going to have 71 laps. It's one of the shorter tracks on the circuit. We expect to have a pretty good battle today. Yesterday, we had the sprint. I didn't bring it to you because I was celebrating my 73rd birthday with my wife. But of course, being forever the fan, I did keep up with it. And of course, I don't think the results were unexpected. I think that especially Lewis Hamilton was disappointed with his car's performance. But other than that, I think that the cars kind of fell out where we would expect over such a short race. But first, before we get going, let's start and thank our sponsors, thanking Thenology, a data center in Austin, Texas, providing cloud services along with co-location and managed services at Thenology.com. The folks at Give, Send, Go, if you need a crowdfunding to help get you through some tough financial times, maybe some friends, maybe not friends, maybe just complete strangers who need help, then please go to givesendgo.com. And of course, the folks at Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty trying to get all of you folks involved in having a say in how your kids get educated today, because the folks that are having the say are not what I would call stellar, upstanding human beings, school teachers or board members. So please join one of the nearly 200 sites or things around this country. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit there. The word I really want is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't chapters. That's the word I was looking for. Go log in and join one of the 200 chapters. If there's not one in your area, please help get one going, and let's get Moms for Liberty all of the help they need to change how our kids are educated and who's sitting on these school boards. So that's momsforliberty.com. So a little bit of news, I guess, and not good news for Formula One. Not good news for Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Grand Prix. They built all of these. They created all of these packages, and some of them, $2,000, $5,000, $20,000, some $100,000 packages for your 3 weekends at the Las Vegas circuit. And the bad news is they are not selling. They're not selling at all. They don't quite know what they're going to do, because a lot of people have put a lot of money into this. It's probably, from a financial point of view, it's the most expensive and most, I would say, promoted Grand Prix. Obviously, some of the other ones, Monaco comes to mind, or Monaco, depending on where in the world you're from. Of course, the track here in Austin now, Miami, but there's others around the world. This one right here in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but none of them have poured the money into the event like they have in Las Vegas, and they are just not expecting the crowds to show up and be there, which would be very disappointing. And of course, one of the reasons that I believe that they're in this position is there is no competition. There's no competition. Even now, I guess, even for the second place driver, it's all pretty well laid out and finished, and it has been for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. And so what brings the spectators to the sport is to really watch hard competition, and we haven't seen that out of Lewis Hamilton this year. This might be another year. Did he? No, I think he did make one first place finish, win one Grand Prix last year, although I'm having to put it in my brain cells. But it looks like he could well go through this year and not win a Grand Prix. And per my predictions and that of Sir Jackie Stewart, we don't believe that he'll actually win another one, and certainly not another world championship. But everybody has a twilight of their career, and I think Lewis Hamilton is in his. So we are just getting ready to start the race and getting ready to go for the formation lap. So I'm going to kind of get my TV going here, as well as and what has happened here. We have already Charles Leclerc in the formation lap, and he is not going to start this race. What has happened here? This is just crazy amazing. This is the formation lap, and he's crashed into the barrier. How could he do that? Something obviously had to go wrong with his car. No, wait a minute. He's taken off again. Let's see what he's going to do. That right front wheel, he's not going to start this race, folks. That right front wheel is pointing into the left. So obviously, probably a problem. Let's see, he's trying to say something on the radio here. Anyway, I mean, that is just an amazing. This reminds me, I was watching the Indy 500. I'm going to say back, in fact, he's pulled his car now off the track altogether, out of the way of the race, so we'll get this thing started on time. So we're going to see so he just absolutely loses it. It's like he just goes dead straight on the turn. See if they give an in-car shot here of what happens. I mean, they're not, if they're not going that fast, I don't really understand. But anyway, I'll get back to Indy 500, and he hit the gas is what happened, and literally just spun it out. And that's exactly what happened. Get back to this Indy 500. This is about in the early 90s, and the pole sitter didn't get to start the race because he spun out along as he was going on their warm-up lap. They don't call it the formation lap, they call it the warm-up lap. But I always remember he spun out and never got to start the race, and he was the pole sitter. So here we've had an absolute surprise in that Leclerc has spun out in the formation lap, and so actually it's a very good thing for Lance Stroll sitting in third place, because he's got clear road ahead of him to the first turn. He could probably give an under off, and Max Verstappen is away to a good start, and Lando Norris up on the outside and has pulled through into second place. Lando Norris is now, and we've got one of the Haas cars backwards into the wall, so we've got a yellow flag as soon as this race gets going. As we watch Sergio Pérez there trying to hold on to his position. Maybe he had an altercation with the Haas car. Can't see who it is. But an incredible start for Lando Norris, who went from, I think, 5th or 6th, and he is now in second place. So as they bring out the safety car, so that's very interesting. We're not even going to get the first lap in, and we've got, after the first turn, we've got a safety car. So I'm sure we're going to get a replay of this in just a moment, but something happened, and I can't see who it is. It's Kevin Magnussen got wrapped around Alex Albon in the Williams. And in fact, both of those guys are out now. Now they're showing both cars. So what a start to this race already. We've got 1/4 of a lap underway, and already we've got 3 cars out. We've got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, we've got Esteban Ocon out, and Alex Albon out, and also Kevin Magnussen. So, and Albon's car is just a mess. So let's see if we can see what happened here. They're going to give us a replay here at the start and see if we can see what happened. But It looks like I say, we're so busy watching Lando Norris get such a great start. And it just looks like that Alex Albon ran right into the back of Kevin Magnussen. But the damage to his car is incredible. And the rear wheels are off. Oh, something happened to his car. His rear wheels just locked up solid. Something happened to Albon's car. Here we're on board with him now, and let's see what goes on. But it looks to me like his rear wheels just lock up solid. Oh no, he got hit. No, they didn't. He got hit by Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen pulled in and got him on the right side, and that's what tore his rear end up, is because Magnussen tore his rear wheels off. So not a very good start for either of those guys. Magnussen's car looks like, if he can get it back to the pits, that it might be all right. We're going to get a look. We're looking at an Esteban Ocon here as we go past. Okay. Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. Magnussen's right front wheel caught into Alex Albon's left rear wheel. But again, they're showing a replay. An incredible start for Lando Norris. He got past both the Aston Martins and got past, I can't see who it is, but I think it's Lewis Hamilton, and got past them all as they went in there, as we see the tires and wheels flying off Alex Albon's car. So really sad start for Albon. He qualified quite well, and I'm sure was expecting to have quite a good day. But kind of a crazy start here to the day. Who is that on the far right? I can't make it, but can't see who it is. But he's gonna come up in third place. I believe it's Lewis Hamilton. Oscar Piastri is in the pit, so something happened to Oscar Piastri as well. So, what? I didn't see that. So now we're going to have to find out what happened to Oscar Piastri. So right now, the running order is Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll. And they're showing Piastri in 16th, but he's in the pits. They're showing Danny Ricciardo in the pits as well. We're going to have no cars left, folks. By the time they get through with this, we're going to have no cars left. We're going to have a 5-10 car race. Because right now we've got 5 cars out of the race. And we haven't finished the first lap. And we're going to have a red flag here. So the red flag condition is going to come up. So this is very, very interesting. So we'll take a break right here because there's going to be nothing much to say other than, of course, we will find out what's happened to some of these other cars. But when we come back from the break in a few moments, then I'll give you a full rundown. Okay, Formula One fans, so we've got some updates here about what all of this chaos was. And of course, Charles Leclerc apparently had 2 problems. One, he had no steering. His hydraulics went out completely. And then something went on with the engine and it locked up his rear wheels. And so he had no way of steering and no way of doing anything. And so his was totally a mechanical hydraulic failure on his car. So bad news for him, sad news for him. Of course, on the others, it's quite obvious what happened. The car of come on, John, spit it out. The cars they squeezed themselves up against Alex Albon and Kevin Magnussen ended up bumping into each other. Now, out of all of that, the other things that have happened, why we saw Piastri in the pits and why we saw Ricciardo in the pits is because they got hit with debris coming off the cars that were having the problems. And in particular, Ricciardo got hit with a tire. He was lucky. It hit his rear spoiler. So that's all they had to do. But in Oscar Piastri's case, somebody actually ran into the back of him and damaged his hydraulics. So we don't know yet whether or not Oscar Piastri is going to rejoin the race. It does look like Danny Ricciardo is going to rejoin the race. Now, the thing is that if you've gone into the garage during a red flag, then you can only restart the race from the pit lane. So they're going to restart the race. They'll do another formation lap behind a behind the safety car, and we're watching Danny Ricciardo now come out of the pits. So they'll do a formation lap behind the safety car, and then they will do a standing start again. Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, and then the two Aston Martins would round out your top five. So we'll see what kind of because the Aston Martins, both of them, got a horrible start. They got passed by the fifth and sixth. So they were on the second row. They got passed by both guys on the third row. So really surprising for Lando, not surprising for Lance Stroll. Like I say, if his daddy didn't own that team, he wouldn't be on that team. So not that don't get me wrong, folks. He's an incredible driver. He gets out every weekend and he does this. But he's not on the same level as the other 20 drivers, the other 19 drivers that are out there that have earned their way to be there by sheer driving skill, not because daddy bought the team. So they said a safety, they was following a safety car, but I do not see the safety car out there. I see Max Verstappen and then Lando Norris and then Lewis Hamilton, followed by the two Aston Martins. I do not see the safety car. So there was a little bit of misinformation by those professionals at Sky Sports there, but we won't hold that against them. They are incredible commentators, all of them, and they do a really good job of bringing this race each and every week. And David Croft's been doing this since 2012, and to have the same enthusiasm, the same everything for every race is quite remarkable, because he gets to see a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again, and yet he carries this enthusiasm that's really good. So does Martin Brundle. Let's face it, the whole team's pretty good, pretty professional. So as we watch the AlphaTauri of Danny Ricciardo make its way down pit lane to do the pit lane start, and we're going to get ready for the lights out. And as we pull up, we see the final car pull up now, and so we should see the lights starting to go here, and there's the safety car coming up from the rear. So it wasn't leading, it was in back, which is normal. And so 4, 5 lights out, and let's see how Lando Norris goes. Lando Norris gets a jump on Max Verstappen here. No, he doesn't. It just looked like he did, but Verstappen is way out there, and I saw smoke and everything flying up, but no, it looks like we got all the cars back on the track and all going in. So there was 3 laps, because I see this now showing. Oh, so they had a safety formation lap. So we're on lap 4, and We've got Fernando Alonso has got past Lewis Hamilton there on the restart, put Hamilton back into 4th place. So between him and his teammate, they should be able to do something and keep Lewis Hamilton back there. Lando Norris still in 2nd position, and of course the talented Max Verstappen is already pulling away. I don't have a bar on the side here to give you some times, but he is already pulling away from the pack. We're watching Sergio Pérez. Looks like he has made up a number of positions also. So it looks like Sergio Pérez got a good start. He is at 3rd, 4th. He is now in 6th position, up from 9th. So he did. And we're seeing Hülkenberg doing pretty well. Danny Ricciardo now is making his way up through the field, and in fact he is moved up. Well, they're showing him 1 lap down. They're showing Piastri out there, so that's really good news. I haven't seen him on the track, but they are showing him 1 lap down along with Danny Ricciardo. So right now our leader about 1 second ahead of Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Norris, Alonso, Hamilton and Russell, Perez and Stroll. So Stroll had another bad restart, and he's dropped back into 7th position, just ahead of Carlos Sainz. And Norris now has dropped out of DRS range. We don't have DRS yet. We won't have it for another lap, but already Norris is out of DRS range on Verstappen. Alonso's 2 seconds behind Norris, and Hamilton is 3 seconds now behind Alonso. So quickly the field is starting to spread out. So I don't see that we're going to have a lot of position changes at the front. The closest one might be Perez on George Russell, but we'll have to see that. Back in the field, we've got Valtteri Bottas trying to get past Hulkenberg. Then Russell, let's work together. I won't attack in these early laps. so George Russell is trying to put his teammate at ease that he's not going to try and take him out in the early laps, as we watch Lance Stroll behind Sergio Pérez. So interesting stuff. So at the back end of the field, we're still seeing Ricciardo trailing Oscar Piastri. Everybody's on the soft tire, by the way, with the exception of Piastri, who's on medium. And we just saw, I see what happened. Hamilton ended up locking up his brakes, and that gave Alonso the opportunity to get past him. So a mistake by Hamilton allowed Alonso to get up on the inside of him and take that position away from him on the second turn. So again, Lando Norris, I thought he got a really good start, but when you see it on the replay, he was a little slow off the charge right there. In fact, for a moment, Lewis Hamilton was alongside him, but it was only for a moment. Now, this is interesting. Lando Norris has now closed. I wonder if something's wrong with Verstappen's car, because he's just made up an entire second and is now 0.6 behind Max Verstappen. Whoa, that's news, because Verstappen had quickly opened up a 1.2, 1.3 second lead. Now he's starting to open it up again. I'm wondering if something happened to Verstappen on a corner or something, because now he's opening it back up. He's got 0.8 of a second. So I've got to imagine that Verstappen made a little mistake somewhere there on that sixth lap that allowed Lando Norris to close the gap. But right now, Norris, we've got Alonso trailing Norris by 2.4 seconds. Hamilton behind Alonso at 1.9. George Russell, his teammate, now is right up alongside him, promising not to put him down. But George Russell's got DRS, and I believe DRS will open up this lap. In fact, it has, as we watch Oscar Piastri, I believe it is. It is Oscar Piastri taking over the position from Sargent, and we've got Lando Norris, who has DRS close enough to. In fact, I don't know what's going on with Verstappen's car, because he is not putting any distance between himself and Lando Norris. He's at 0.8 of a second, now at 0.9, but Lando Norris is able to hold on to that Red Bull car, and now he's just dropped out of a DRS range at a little over a second. But something I would venture to guess is slightly amiss with Verstappen's car, because Lando Norris is able to stay with him, although now he's 1.2 seconds behind, and of course he doesn't have DRS anymore, so that's going to cause a bigger gap to form. Alonso now is closing the gap between himself and Norris a little bit at a time. We got a replay here where Lando Norris was actually alongside Max Verstappen there on the restart, but Verstappen managed to hold him off. So obviously those McLarens are handling very well. Poor Oscar Piastri got caught up with debris, and he finds himself a lap down. Ricciardo now, though, has DRS on Piastri, so I believe that it's not going to be long before Ricciardo takes that position away from Piastri. The chances of them making up that lap is 0. But they could make up the lap against some of the other cars. But I don't think there's a chance that they're going to make up all of that space of distance, let's say between the top 8 to 10 cars. But they could certainly, from where they are right now, both of them end up making points if they can keep this pace up that they have going. Right now, though, like I said, Joel, I'm having two push hard into turn 11. Either I need to overtake or he needs to manage more through there. So already George Russell's complaining about his teammate. So we've got a DRS train here that's going amongst the fifth, sixth, seventh place cars. So Stroll has DRS against Perez, who has DRS against Russell, who has DRS against Hamilton. So let's see what Mercedes decide to do here. Are they going to tell George Russell, or are they going to tell Max Verstappen to give way and let George Russell pass? Or are they just going to leave him back there? The problem is that Hamilton is dropping more and more behind Lando Norris. So the team's going to have to decide to do something unless they just want to be happy with fourth and fifth position. But I don't know that they can be happy with fourth and fifth position, because certainly Perez and now even Stroll, Perez has got George Russell right there. And I just don't see any way that that Russell is going to be able to hold off Perez unless they let him past Hamilton. So we're going to watch Sergio Perez now. He's got DRS and he's going to go. No, he looked around and then changed his mind, but he was certainly looking to pass George Russell there on the inside. And now, of course, the problem is Red Bull's got better straight line speed than Mercedes. So even with DRS, they can get past the Mercedes, even though the Mercedes has DRS. So George Russell's having to use DRS to stay out of the clutches of Sergio Perez. But I don't know how long they can keep doing that. At some point, Mercedes is going to have to make a decision, because Hamilton now is 3.3 seconds behind Alonso. Here's something interesting. If you remember, we're on a lap 11 now, but just 4 laps ago, I was saying that Norris had a real chance on Verstappen. Whatever the issues were with Verstappen have gone away completely, because Norris is now 2.1 seconds behind. So we're coming on lap 12, so in about another 4 or 5 laps, depending on the road surface, we're going to be looking at tire changes here. At 71 laps, we're probably looking at a 2-stop strategy, going all out in the beginning with the soft. So we're probably looking at soft, hard, and medium as a strategy. That would be my guess. We could also be looking at soft, medium, hard, but I think that they would be better off going for the hard in the midpoint of the race and then finishing on the medium. So anyway, let's see what Hannah Schmitz has to say. Whatever she says, it's going to be right, as we're watching a replay of Valtteri Bottas coming up with DRS on Nico Hülkenberg and moving along past him. So that puts Nico Hülkenberg back into, if they'll please put it up on the screen here, puts Hülkenberg back into 13th position. So right now your top 5 really haven't changed. Piastri did get passed by Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo now is coming up on Logan Sargent. Obviously, I don't think everything's right with Piastri's car. Okay, Fernando, so we're still on plan A. So his team is coming back to him with plan A, and I'm going to probably predict that everybody's on plan A, which is a 2-stop strategy. We're on lap 13 of these soft tires. This track has 13 turns and it's quite short, so that puts an extra kind of pressure on the tires as they keep going through the turns quite often. Excuse me. Allergies are not so bad today, but allergies are still here. So anyway, we'll press on with the race, and we'll see how things are going to go. We're going to drop off and just take a break here for a moment, but I will be back in just a few moments. Russell still struggling to get past his teammate. What's he saying on the radio? They're not going to show us. He's talking to his team about something, and he gets right up on them. I mean, he's within half a car length behind him, but he just doesn't get right past him. It looks like Hamilton might have a little better grip through the turns, but Carlos Sainz is the one George Russell's got to worry about, because he's also closing up on George Russell. And so we're going to see Russell. So Hamilton now. So here's Russell's problem. Hamilton now has DRS on Lance Stroll. So we got us a little DRS train going there. So we got Hamilton, Russell, and Sainz. Sainz, who will move into DRS here in just a moment. He's at 1 point. So in fact, he just did it. He was 4,000th of a second out. Now he's in it, and so now we've got a DRS train, and this could go on, for who knows how long. Well, Hamilton just dropped out of DRS for Lance Stroll, so that's going to make him very vulnerable. And in fact, he's now lost a full tenth of a second, and so now Russell will get that back. But of course, he's got Carlos Sainz, who has DRS as well. But that's not going to help Sainz at this point. Russell is within half a car length of his teammate. And he's at 0.3 of a second, just moved to 0.4. It looks like, though, that Hamilton is a little better through the corner. So, but anyway, like I say, Russell's going to get past him. It's just when. And credit to Lewis Hamilton, he's putting up a good fight. But like I say, I just think it's a matter of time, especially as we get a few more miles on these tires, and as we watch the car of Carlos Sainz come up right up on the rear end of the thing. I'm starting to struggle with the tires. That's Lewis Hamilton, and of course that's just trying to stay ahead of his teammate, because it's interesting. In order to stay ahead, he's having to drive through the corners harder. And so therefore he's scrubbing off more of that tire. What's interesting is, if you remember earlier, he said he was pulling to the right, and you could see on the tire, you could see the wear and tear. But right now we can't see that wear and tear as we watch Carlos Sainz take away that position from George Russell. So that's really going to make Russell a really mad little camper, because he just got slammed by Hamilton, and Hamilton is going to get slammed by Carlos Sainz as well. But Russell has DRS and Sainz doesn't, so maybe they'll battle each other and give Hamilton a little breathing room. Who knows? Perez down to 1.1 seconds behind Alonso, so I'm assuming he's going to have DRS here very shortly, and Perez will take away that third place from Alonso and put Alonso back. But a great day so far from the Mercedes, because we've got Stroll still in fifth place, Alonso in third. So even so, if they can finish fourth and fifth, that would be a really great day for Mercedes. A good day for McLaren, although poor Piastri is all the way back there. And Ricciardo now is just showing a little over 1 minute behind Ocon. So that's interesting. He has unlapped himself, and now he's got to make up another entire lap to get behind him there. But so has Piastri. So these guys are unlapping themselves and getting back on the lead lap. So some great driving there on the part of those two folks, as we watch Carlos Sainz now with DRS on Hamilton, and we just watch Yuki Tsunoda go past Valtteri Bottas, who's not having a bad day, by the way. The Alfa Romeos, of course, Joe Granu is out. He got caught up in that melee in the first lap, but Bottas is having quite a respectable showing now in 11th place. So now we've got Lando Norris turning in the fastest lap. That's very interesting. But he's still nearly 5 seconds behind Verstappen, so Verstappen still keeps gaining on him. Perez is within a tenth of a second of having DRS on Alonso. He's had that for the last couple of laps, so I don't know what is taking him quite so long to catch up, other than the fact he's trying to catch Fernando Alonso, which is no easy task. So we're going to take another quick break here, and I will be back momentarily. Okay, folks, and we're back just as Carlos Sainz made easy work of Lewis Hamilton. And the other interesting thing is George Russell now has dropped back from his teammate, which is kind of interesting. And also, Fernando Alonso is managing to keep Perez at bay. Perez now has actually gone from almost having DRS to dropping back at 1.9 seconds. So now we're just watching, Valtteri Bottas drop out of the race. So now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars out of the race, including both Alfa Romeos. So obviously something going very wrong there for Alfa Romeo today. So not just Alfa Romeo, a number of them. But good news for Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is in 5th place. This might be the best race of Lance Stroll's career if it continues this way. We have essentially 26, 27 laps left, and Norris is 5.6 seconds behind Verstappen. And Alonso, this is crazy, Alonso is 15.2 seconds behind Norris, and Perez is 1.7 seconds behind Alonso, and Lance Stroll is 5 seconds back from that. So and now we've got, this is crazy, George Russell is in a battle for 8th place with Pierre Gasly. Something's got to be going really wrong with those Mercedes cars. Remember during the sprint I said, although I kind of casually watched it, I said that I didn't think that the Mercedes had it all together. And in fact, George Russell has now just been popped back into 9th position. So we've got everybody on medium tires except Sargent, Ocon, Hulkenberg, and Piastri. So that's interesting. That tire strategy is interesting. So who am I seeing giving? So we're watching George Russell chase Pierre Gasly. But you know, for that to be going on like that with the AlphaTauris, that's kind of it's crazy, just really crazy. How can that be? But it is. And let's see, Gasly is only 4.5 seconds behind undercut zone, pit stop, undercut threat. Perez on Alonso, Alonso on Perez, 2.17 seconds, and they're at 2.51 seconds. So Perez needs to really close that gap a little bit to save himself from suffering from the undercut, because we're going to see another set of tire changes coming up here. Let's see, 44 in the next 5 laps, I would think. So by lap 50, with 21 laps to go, around 49.50 with 21 laps to go, obviously everybody's going to go back to the soft tire. So with that in mind, they're worried, the Perez team is worried about the undercut. But Alonso, for some reason, is just doing, he's actually putting more distance between himself and Perez. So really interesting stuff going on there, because it was only a few laps ago where they predicted Perez would be taking over Alonso. Something's going away on Perez's car. What it is, I don't know. And actually I'm going to say the same thing might be happening for Norris, but Lando Norris is 6 seconds behind Verstappen. So that's okay. This has got to be the largest attrition in a Formula One race in a long time, where it wasn't just wrecks taken out. Check the brakes. Problem with the brakes. Copy. We're looking. That's Gasly to his team. So he's got issues with his brakes. All kinds of, in today's Formula One racing, you just don't see as many mechanical or any kind of those issues, cars dropping out because of problems anymore. They're so finely tuned and so finely engineered. And we got Logan Sargent in the pit. Let's see what tires he's gonna have to come out on the medium tire. He was on the soft, but he's gonna have to come out on the medium. Otherwise, he's got to do another pit stop still. So that's going to let Ricciardo and Piastri catch up. Hamilton just locked up his rear wheels. I don't know if it's gusty, but the car is so bad in the air. Yeah, he just locked up his rear wheels there. Current tire, medium, pit window, 46 to 52. Right, so like I said just a few minutes ago, we've got 4 to 5 laps, and we are going to have tire changes as we watch someone come down pit lane right now. Who is it? Russell. George Russell is coming into the pits, and stop 1, 2, not bad, 2.5, 2.6, 3.0. That was longer than I thought. So wow, that's a slow pit stop, and that drops him back to 11th ahead of Hulkenberg. Logan Sargent. Hulkenberg is 11 seconds ahead of Sargent. Daniel Ricciardo now is 41 seconds behind Sargent with let's see, 41. We're looking with 25 laps to go. He could really maybe let's use the tire. Let's use the tires now. I have been for the last 5 laps, dude, as we watch Sergio Pérez come in for a new set of beautiful tire stop, 2.3 seconds in and out, which will put him behind Perez, behind Sainz, but ahead of Hamilton, who is coming into the pits right now. And 1, 2, nice pit stop there. 2.7, no, I'm losing it. 3.1. What is going on with Mercedes? Those are terrible pit stops. Gasly 2.5. So Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda now up into 6th place. So the AlphaTauri is having a wonderful day with Yuki Tsunoda. Of course, not so wonderful with Ricciardo, but Ricciardo is having a hell of a drive. He's come from a lap down to just 41 seconds behind Logan Sargent. So he's made up an entire lap, 1 minute and 14 seconds plus 20 seconds. So he's made up, 1 minute and 14, and so he's made up 1 minute and 36 seconds. That's a hell of a drive, folks. That's a hell of a drive. As we watch Alonso now come into the pits, let's see where that's going to put him. As we're on board with Verstappen. Is Verstappen about to pit stop for... Oh, no, we're on board with Sergio Perez. So we're going to see where Alonso comes out. Is he going to come out behind Perez? Or is he going to come out just ahead of Perez? So that's what we're on board watching for. And Alonso is going to come out just ahead of Perez. Actually, not just ahead at all. It's 3.8 seconds. So that's crazy because Perez had a really good pit stop. So, and as predicted, we should have gone to the hard tire, man. Oh, that's Hamilton. He's always complaining, that guy Hamilton. Always second guessing his team. I don't know why he should have gone to the... So he's thinking if he'd gone to the hard tire on lap 30, he wouldn't have had to pit again, and then therefore he wouldn't be so far behind. As we watch Lewis Hamilton trying to get by Esteban Ocon, and does he do it? Yes, he does. So where does that put him? Up into 12th? We'll find out in just a moment. Let's see. Hamilton, no, 8th, puts him into 8th. His teammate is in 11th. Because Gasly has DRS on Ocon, and he's only 1.5 seconds behind Hamilton, who is 13 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. That's disgraceful. But of course, he's had a tyre change, so maybe it's not so disgraceful. But Pierre Gasly has just gone past. He's just come up with the fastest lap. But Gasly's just gone past Ocon. So Gasly's having a hell of a day. And of course, Ocon's his teammate. But Gasly is the number one driver there. As we watch him now, Gasly is going to go past, and so is Ocon. They're both going to go past Lewis Hamilton. Stroll is currently in, get this folks, 3rd position. He's not going to finish there, but he's having a hell of a drive for himself today, because the 4 guys ahead of him, Sainz, 3 guys, Sainz, Norris, and they'll stay ahead of him, but he'll drop behind his teammate and behind Perez. Perez now is closing on Alonso. He was 3.4 seconds. He's 2.7. He's got 21 laps to take away what essentially will be that podium position for Alonso as we watch Pierre Gasly go by Lewis Hamilton. Folks, there is something very wrong when an Alpine goes cruising by a Mercedes. Something is very wrong. But that's the way it is. Gasly has just gone by Hamilton like he is standing still. So very, very interesting stuff. As we watch now, Perez is closing quite nicely on Alonso here in the closing laps, and we have exactly 20 laps to go. This is a very, very interesting race, folks. Lots of stuff going on in the beginning, but it's really interesting to see these, second tier cars. I'm in the DRS and I'm still not catching him. Right. So it's interesting to see these second tier cars. And let's face it, second tier is AlphaTauri, Alpine, and Alfa Romeo. Not really, can't really call them second tier. But it's just interesting to see that they are able to dispatch of the Mercedes like this. I mean, the Mercedes have got to be scratching their head. George Russell is 4 seconds behind Esteban Ocon, who is only 3 seconds behind Hamilton and catching him. And Hamilton has DRS on Gasly, but can't get past him. That's what he was just complaining about on the team radio, that he's got DRS and yet he can't catch him. So some really weird stuff going on. You got Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri up in 7th place, of only 4 seconds behind Perez, who is now at 1.7 seconds behind Alonso. And we're just watching as the Ferrari team tell Carlos Sainz to box. So where's that going to put Carlos? It's going to put him in 8th position. 8th position, I believe, between Hamilton and Gasly. Gasly's now opened up 1.3 seconds on Lewis Hamilton. If I'm Team Mercedes, I'm going. In Team Mercedes, I forgot to bring this up in the news section. They just lost their technical director. He resigned. Didn't say where he was going or whatever. But obviously, something is wrong with the design and the setup and everything of these Mercedes cars. As we watch Carlos Sainz come out, they're showing him coming out ahead of Gasly. Let's see if that's true. As Gasly comes around, yes, he does. He just barely comes out ahead of Gasly. Gasly is right behind him and will have DRS on him here. But that Ferrari's been behaving very well today, as there's a 1.4 second gap. We're going to watch a replay here of the tire change. And 1, 2, we had problems, nearly 3-4 seconds. What did we have? What was it? Let's see. On the tire change. So Perez now has DRS on Alonso. So as Lance Stroll comes into the pit, so Perez is going to move up into a podium finish here as we watch Lance Stroll, who's admittedly, let's give him credit when credit's due, because we do tear him to shreds a lot, has driven a beautiful race without incident, and he's up there in the top 5. So all credit to Lance Stroll today as we watch Sergio Perez open up his rear spoiler as he has DRS on Alonso, and it's only, I guess, only a matter of time. So Lance Stroll's going to come out in 6th. He's 6 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. Let's see, we got 17 laps to go. I don't think that he's going to make any change of position on there. And now we've seen Alonso kind of open up that gap again, get out of DRS as we watch. Perez is right there. So as he closes in, he's going to get DRS again here momentarily as we watch the tire change for Lance Stroll. 1, 2, oh, that's terrible. 3, probably 4 seconds. Come on, give me the time. Something happened there. It wasn't the front wheels because they had a camera on the front wheels. So something went on with the rear wheels. But anyway, Stroll now finds himself 5 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda, but a good 2 seconds clear of Carlos Sainz, which he's been able to maintain as Perez now has DRS on Alonso, and he had his rear spoiler wide open there, and as they come down through the S's into the chicane, so it's going to be very hard, I think, for Alonso. Whoa, as he closed the gap really quickly there. It looked like Alonso braked earlier, or Perez was able to brake late as we watch Esteban Ocon take the fastest lap. There's something new. When did we see that? Folks, this is a crazy, crazy race today. Very interesting, very, very competitive here, other than the front, as you know, as Verstappen has now got 7.7 second lead on Norris, who's got a 36 second lead on Alonso. That's crazy. But you know, what's obvious here, folks, is that McLaren is closing the gap. McLaren is closing the gap. Either that or Red Bull is not pushing it. But we're watching now. We're watching Perez really pushing it to close the gap on the Aston Martin, and he didn't quite get it there. As we watch him go through, let's see. He's got DRS again here. How close is he going to get? Still, they're saying 0.7 of a second, down now back to 8. So Alonso, whoa, now we're down to probably 0.3 of a second that Perez is behind. So it looks like that the Red Bull has got better grip through the corners than the Aston Martin now, as we see Perez within a couple of car lengths, really looking at the transmission of the Aston Martin. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the move come here in less than a lap for sure. But let's see. The Aston Martin does look like it's got good acceleration out of the corners, so it means he's got good grip. But now Perez has got the straightaway. Is he going to get past him? Is he? No, but boy, he's within a few feet of the back transmission rear wheels of that Aston Martin. So I feel sure that he's going to be on the podium. We're asking for driver of the day. Norris, Verstappen, or Perez? No, I'm going to give it to the two guys at the back. They've been incredible. Ricciardo and Piastri have just been incredible as they're bringing Verstappen now in for his last pit stop with about 13 laps to go. So in and out, that was kind of a slow pit stop for him, 2.5 seconds. So next we're going to see, of course, in Lando Norris, who momentarily is the leader of the race. Unless he decides he can stay out there on those mediums. Wouldn't that be something exciting? that Lando Norris decides to try and make it to the end, but I don't think he's going to do that. So Perez is still battling away at Alonso, and he is so close to him that he could probably just reach out and touch him. I'm thinking sometimes he is so close. But Alonso is doing a monumental job in holding Perez back and keeping him at bay. But I think at the end, he's got him now. Has he got him? Has he got him? Has he got him? No. Whoa, but that is close. So as we watch for Daniel Ricciardo now coming into pit lane, and Ricciardo, let's see where they say how far back he is. We'll find out in just a moment. As we watch this battle with Perez and Alonso, and it does look like the Red Bull now has got better grip on the corners because Alonso is unable to kind of pull away from him, although he does right there. But Perez is, like I said, Perez is within a car length of his rear wheels. So they're showing Lando Norris, the race leader. He's got 11 seconds on. He's got 11 seconds on Verstappen. But he's got to come in for tires. There's no two ways about it. And unless they gamble, let's see if they gamble. Let's see. Verstappen's got 13 laps to make up 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. If McLaren decide to stay out, then he's got. Like I say, he's got 13 laps to make up 10 seconds now. He's making it up fast. So they should pull in now because Alonso, they can get out and get in and get back out and be comfortable with second position. Because Perez is still right there with Alonso. But Alonso, a wiry old fox, he's 41 years old, and he's giving these younger guys a run for their money. And the other good thing to see is that Aston Martin is behaving remarkably well through the turns. And in fact, Perez has just taken the fastest lap. So as we watch, who are we watching come down into the pits here? Who is it? It is one of the Mercedes, George Russell, and he is retiring from the race. George Russell is out of the race. What a weekend for Mercedes. That is crazy. That is crazy. I wonder what has happened to George Russell. But he is out of the race. Now that makes 6 cars that will not finish this race. That is just unbelievable. As we watch Perez as every corner goes by, he pulls up 2 or 3 thousandths of a second. So credit to Alonso for holding him off. But at some point, that DRS, as we see, less than the car length right there, as they bring in Norris now to change tires, 22 seconds ahead of Alonso, because with that race going on with Alonso, if they let that drop down, he stood the chance of coming in third instead of second. But he's going to get back out of there. Beautiful pit stop, 2.5 seconds, and he's going to get back out there in a comfortable position to come in second with just 11 laps to go. And Perez got alongside Alonso right there and then had to back out at the last moment. But it just showed like I say, he's making up 1,000th or 2,000th of a second every time down. And as he goes in now, he's about to change his mind there. But like I said, Alonso is doing a wonderful job of keeping him at bay. But it's a battle that he will lose eventually, especially because there's, like I said, 10, 11 laps left. And that Red Bull is just sticking to the ground slightly better than the Aston Martin. But, credits to the Aston Martin folks for the drive, for the thing they put together this weekend. They're going to finish 4th and 5th, which is just an amazing drive for them. That will lift them back over into second or third place for the Constructors' Championships over the McLaren, because like McLaren's got one all the way down there in 14th place and one in second, but that's not going to be enough to hold those points when you've got Aston Martin with such a finish here today, 4th and 5th. I'm saying 4th and 5th. Maybe Alonso can hold on. Who said? Like, we're going to find out right here, because Red Bull has DRS, and is he going to take him? He's not going to take him. This is just exciting to watch. The battle of the minds going on here. Is somebody going to make a mistake? Is that going to be the end result of this? Is somebody going to lock up a brake? Is somebody going to go too wide or take a corner? Something. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this battle. Sergio Pérez cannot be satisfied with 4th place. He wants to be on the podium. Alonso wants to be on the podium also. He hasn't been on the podium in weeks, and so it's really an exciting battle as we watch them go through the different parts, through the corners here, see the different lines. Perez is taking what would appear to be a much faster line, but he's still stuck right there as we watch now. He's got DRS again. Is he going to catch him? He's not. He's within a car length, but he just can't get there. And every time this happens now, we're down to 9 laps. So it's some really, really good battery level. Last lap, Alonso neutral, Perez. So Perez has been recharging. That's what's been going on. So he's got more battery now than Alonso. And so that will make the difference when he needs it to come out of the turns, as we watch him now charging his batteries as he goes into the turns. When him being Alonso, that's going to come back and hurt him. That 10% extra battery that Perez has is going to be what he needs to finish it off, and they're probably telling him that on the radio that he's got a much better battery life left than Alonso. And remember, these are hybrids, right? And so they use the battery for acceleration, both on the straightaways and coming out of the corners. So we're going to see at some point, Perez, right now he's got DRS, and so at some point he's going to use that extra acceleration to get past Alonso probably in the last 3 to 4 laps, because Alonso is doing such a great job here of keeping him at bay. Alonso keeps keeping this gap anywhere from 0.3 of a second to right now we're at 0.5, and then it's 0.7, so 0.6. So Alonso just doing an incredible job here at the end of keeping Perez at bay. And of course, Alonso's an ex-world champion. He's been there, done that, and he's it. As we watch the car of Lando Norris, who's got a full 14 seconds now, but he's 9 seconds behind Verstappen. So it's going to be another one of those where Verstappen leads from pole to finish. And I think this will be another record, because every week he breaks his record. And of course, the next race, folks, is the Las Vegas race, I think, which is August 16th. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And we're bringing up Aston Martin right now. Now they're still going to be they're going to be in 5th place. So Mercedes is still in 2nd. That's really, really strange, but only by 8 points. So anything can change here. Where's Lewis Hamilton down in 8th? And of course, Russell is out. So all kinds of interesting things happening in the championship races, although, nobody cares about, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Everybody only cares about, 1st, right? And all those decisions are already made. As we watch, so we've got 6-7 laps to go, and it's amazing how close Perez is to our great Aston Martin driver, and the different lines they take are very interesting. Maybe Perez should think about taking the Aston Martin line, and maybe he'll get a little closer as he opens up his rear wing to bring in the DRS. And let's see if he's got the speed this time. Does he? No. This is just really an incredible battle. And he has DRS again. There's all different places down this track. He's using his DRS, and he's getting so close. And I don't know, they got vote of the driver of the day up there. And like I say, I'm going to vote for either Ricciardo or Piastri, because both those guys unlapped themselves. And right now we've got a split between Norris, Perez, and Alonso. But like I say, I wouldn't give it to any one of those guys. Because the guys that have really done an incredible job are at the back of the pack. We've got Ricciardo now, who's just 42 seconds behind Hülkenberg. He hasn't kind of made up that much in the last time I talked, he was 1 minute and something, but still, that's 20-something seconds in probably 30 laps. So, that's some great driving. And Piastri is hanging behind there. What's really weird out of all this? They're going to end up, 13th and 14th. If they thought that the way the race started, they would have probably said no way. But yeah, they're going to end up 13th and 14th. Ricciardo 13th and Piastri 14th. So at the end of the day, in terms of points for the team, not all bad for either team. Excuse me. So. Yeah, it's so we got 5 laps left to go. We got Sergio Pérez still battling Fernando Alonso, and you just have to wonder when Pérez is going to make his move. He's so close all of the time. I'm telling you, within a car length, and he's so close. You have to wonder when he's going to say, okay, this is it. As we watch the Aston Martin fans in the crowd, cheering along Alonso. But it's amazing that Perez has not got past him. He's been there for 10 laps maybe doing this. Now at the same time, like I said, Perez is charging his batteries, and Alonso is not able to do that. In order to stay ahead of him, Alonso is not able to charge his batteries. So it's going to be interesting as we see them come up on lap traffic. It's going to be interesting to see really what happens here at the end. But a great battle going on between two really good drivers right now. Neither one of them making a mistake. Neither one of them giving an inch, and neither one of them wanting to give up this battle. So it's really this is really good for Formula One to see this kind of stuff, and it's great to see that Sky Sports is sticking with this battle all the way through. Maybe it is the only exciting thing going on, but still, it's great that they're sticking with it. And of course, I can't hear their commentary, but I can imagine, especially Martin Brundle's got a lot of really good things to say about why Alonso is able to keep doing what he's doing and why Perez has not made that final move. Because we are now down to 3 laps. So if Perez is going to make his move, it has to be soon. Really soon, because otherwise he's not going to get that podium. Yeah, he's going to maintain points ahead of Hamilton, so Hamilton's not going to get ahead of him. But at the same time, beautiful driving by Alonso, beautiful driving by Perez. Great driving by Lance Stroll. He's going to come in 5th, which has got to be, I would think, his best Formula One finish ever. So an incredible day for Mercedes. And if you remember, if you watch Instagram, I put out a thing. I think I said last week at Mexico. We thought that Lawrence Stroll, for all his money and all his this and all his that, he's not a happy man. And this weekend you got to think, God, this has got to make this guy happy. But no. Who are we watching coming up? We're watching. This is strange. We're watching. I guess it's Gasly. No. Oh, I know what it was. It was a lapped car. Sorry, I was watching. They just lapped another car. So I think it's Gasly. They just lapped Gasly. So anyway, we're on one of three laps to go, and Perez has got to make his move. He has got to do something. He's either got to make a desperation move and take him out, or he's going to be stuck where he is. The good news is for Lance Stroll, he's made up ground. I have no downshifts like the left paddle is not responding. That's Carlos Sainz. So who's he? He's in danger. No, not with 4 seconds ahead. He's in good shape. So anyway, it's still the same old thing, and we're watching. Lance Stroll is within half a car length a lot of times of Alonso, and Alonso gets on the gas just a little quicker than he does. As we watch him coming around the chicane right here, he's within a car length. And yet Alonso pulls away 4 or 5 car lengths like that. I mean, like in half a second. And so he just can't catch him. It's like that Aston Martin's got better grip and better straight speed than the Red Bull. And that is really, really amazing, because Red Bull's got really, really good straight speed. So let's see, is he going to get him now? Let's see, he's going in the inside. Yes, he does. Sergio Perez, with 2 laps to go, finally passes Alonso and is starting to put 0.3 of a second between him and Alonso. Alonso's now got DRS, so he's going to battle for that position back again. Perez blocks him and maintains it going through here. So it's going to be an incredible end to the day. For both Perez and Red Bull, but also for Aston Martin. They're going to finish, as I said about, 10, 15 laps ago, 4th and 5th. So a beautiful piece of driving by Perez, waiting until just the exact moment as we go into the last lap. And of course, Alonso is going to do everything he can to try and get that back. But now Perez has opened up about a 7/10 of a second, and Alonso can't close the gap like Perez was able to do on him. In fact, Perez now has got an 8 to 10 car length advantage on him, and we're going into the straightaway, and Alonso should be closing that gap, but he is not closing that gap with DRS, and so Perez is going to finish in 3rd place. Unless he makes some monumental mistake right here, which after what we've just seen for the last 10 or 15 laps, I don't think either one of these guys is going to make a monumental mistake. As Alonso takes the position back again, and does he get it? Does he keep it? He does. Alonso just took that position back again from Perez. That is an amazing piece of driving, folks. And Alonso is going to finish on the podium. He is going to finish 3rd. That was an unbelievable piece of driving by Fernando Alonso, and he is going to finish in 3rd position. That is just crazy. Norris finishes in 2nd. Alonso will finish 0.4 of a second ahead of Sergio Perez. I do believe Perez is going to try and take him on the inside again now. Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Let's see. And he's got DRS, so let's see if he can pull it off. He's got DRS. He's going to try again right here, but I don't believe. Is he going to be able to do it? Yes, he is. Perez is taking the position back again. Alonso's got him on the inside. Perez on the outside. Alonso has beaten him on the outside of that turn, and he is going to complete what a piece of driving by Fernando Alonso. What an incredible finish by Alonso to take that 3rd position back from Sergio Perez as they come across the finish line, and just an incredible piece of driving by both of those drivers. That is one of the most beautiful finishes we've had to a Formula One race in a long time, as we watch Perez take on the replay, take that position, and then Alonso go ahead and take it back again, and then of course Perez take it back again, and then Alonso take it back for the final time. So just let's see where the flag put him, because it might be that Perez inched past him on the, no, he didn't. He didn't. Alonso managed to keep it right there. So just an incredible end to the Brazil Grand Prix. A really bad day for Mercedes. I would just say a terrible day for Mercedes. An absolute monster day for Aston Martin as they come in third and fifth. A great day for Red Bull at first and fourth. And of course, a great day for Lando Norris coming in second with a beautiful start to the race. So I give driver of the day to Danny Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri jointly. Both of those guys, like I say, made up an entire lap and some. So I think just great driving on their part. For the most part, we didn't really watch anything to Max Verstappen. That's part of the problem for that team and his advertisers. They do not end up on TV very much because he's so far out in front there that the cameras don't bother with him. But anyway, we want to go ahead and thank our sponsors, the Moms for Liberty. .org, Moms for Liberty, folks. You've got to join one of their 200 chapters. Create your own chapter. Get out there and help Moms for Liberty help you to get the school systems put back into shape here and start teaching science and technology and English and maths and all those all the things they're going to need when they get out of school. Not all this woke stuff and race stuff and sexual gender stuff. They don't need to worry about that at 7, 8, 9, 10, even 13, 14 years old. They don't need to be worrying about that stuff. They need to be focusing on getting some academics. Please support momsforliberty.org. And of course, Give, Send, Go. Give, Send, Go, helping all of those folks. And there's a lot of famous people. They've been helping the folks out there in Hawaii recover from the disaster that was them back earlier this year. A crowdfunding entity that can help you when you get into problems, can help you raise money, maybe to start a business, but can certainly help your friends or even, like I say, complete strangers. So give, send, go. Your business when it comes to crowdfunding. And of course, folks, if you've got any technology need at all, no matter what it is, the folks you need to call are the folks at Thenology. Private cloud, public cloud, co-location, just general technology needs. Storage, but storage is a big thing. They have lots of storage available for you. So please go to Thenology.com. That is Thenology.com. And again, we couldn't end the day without thanking our great producer and all things technical guru, Andre Kuhn. Andre, thank you for all the great work you do for us. And folks, we will see you in 2 weeks at the hopefully very successful Las Vegas Grand Prix.